Hi, I'm Rajermani Thinakaran. Today I'm going to present a topic on undergraduate students' self-efficacy in learning programming. Yeah, as we know, programming course appear to lose its popularity. Basically, I think all the educators have the same issues where the students always say that the subject is very difficult, okay, to master or to understand why the lecturer or the educator facing the high failing rates. Okay, so this issue is not happen internationally. That means other than Malaysia, even in Malaysia also, we face the same problems. Okay, here my research or my study is basically focused for Malaysian students. Yeah, so when I go through the literature, okay, so I identify that there's three reasons or three factors, okay, why these problems occur. One is basically on the cognitive skills, the students' cognitive skills. The second is reference material. That means no sufficient reference material, or maybe the reference material the students don't understand. Okay, maybe uh, a lot of technical things inside there. And the third one is the teaching strategies, the way the educator, okay, teach the programmings. So the students, okay, didn't understand, because most of the students, okay, in higher learning, they really don't have uh, the programming background. Yeah, refer to the three factors just now, which is cognitive skills, reference materials, and teaching strategies. Actually, these three factors will impact students' motivation level. That means, okay, it will demotivate the students in learning programming. That's why maybe one of the cause is student didn't get through or didn't pass the programming subject. So here, in my study, okay, so I'm really focusing on students' motivation level on programming. So where author called Fauzi stated that motivation is plays an important role, since motivation is considered as one of the key factors that leads to excellent students' performance. Okay, on the other side, related to the IT demands or IT job demands, which is required programming courses. Yeah, so when we see here, there's a report from World Economic Forum, okay, in 2019. It stated that they required, okay, 133 million new IT jobs are listed here. Okay, so it will be generated by 2022. That means the programming background, yeah, the IT background still is one of demand area. Yeah, so this is one. Okay, another one in current pandemic, okay, COVID pandemic, yeah, issue. So we get to know that many industries or many companies, they retrench their staff. However, okay, in these reports, yeah, I got it from the LinkedIn, okay, September 2020, is 2 months back. Okay, the demands, yeah, okay, for example, application developer and system analysis related to the programming is there. So that means for the computing courses or programming related job, the demand is there. However, are we able to supply, okay, the required demand? That means we have to look on the students' background. Yeah, there are many scholars, okay, and educators try to find out, okay, what's the reason of a high failing rate, yeah, in programming. So okay, when I look on some of the previous research, yeah, so that started from 2010 to 2020, yeah, 10 years, okay, the articles. So this is the, okay, the research papers, yeah, the authors. And from here I can summarize that, okay, most of the reason is, okay, so the students okay, didn't understand the programming concepts, okay, and of course a student lack of a logical and then no basic programming skills, just now I mentioned it, and also they don't know how to write a proper programming, such as in terms of syntax, don't know how to use the development environment, yeah, and also they don't know how to fix the errors. So this is the main reason being stated, okay, by the scholars here or the educators. However, here they didn't okay find any motivation studies. Motivation, yeah, is a very important element, okay, in learning process. In all learning process, yeah, but not only in programming. But however, because this study is related to the programming, okay, so we need to look on motivation here, okay, in Malaysia, yeah. So previously I've shown that the literature, the 10 years literature, basically there's no findings, okay, on the students motivation level. So in this study I'm trying to highlight, okay, what's the students motivation level, okay, during they are taking the programming subjects. Okay, when we look on motivation, yeah, so motivation have different factors. Okay, so here I have just had 4 different factors, which is extrinsic factors, intrinsic factors, okay, tried and permanent, okay, and also self-efficacy. So however, in these studies, I'm more going to concern on the self-efficacy, yeah. What means by self-efficacy? So it's defined as a people judgments of their capabilities to organize and execute courses of actions required to attain the designated types of performance. So this is defined, okay, by a well-known psychologist, yeah, Canadian psychologist named Albert Bandura. Okay, so what he say that, or what he claims that, basically self-efficacy, yeah, beliefs effect on the choice of activities, okay, in which a student take part in, okay, so level of student effort, okay, persistence in the face of the difficulties, and student performance in tasks. So this is actually four elements which is consist as a self-efficacy belief. Okay, there are many scholars have demonstrated, yeah, the relationship between self-efficacy and performance, uh, but not particularly in Malaysia environment. Okay, basically all these authors, okay, international authors are not from Malaysia. So that's why in this study I'm really focusing, okay, for Malaysian students. Okay, the research, yeah, the research methodology for this study is basically is a quantitative approach. So I'm using a questionnaire. Okay, I adapt it. The questionnaire is a computer programming self-efficacy. Okay, like Likert scale. So this a well-known questionnaire developed by Ramalingam, okay, and by the back, consists of 32 items. Yeah. So again, okay, for this study, the questionnaire, okay, I validate, okay, validate. So here, the validation, yeah, the validation is being carried out. Of course, the output is 1.0 is accepted, and also face validation also been carried out, okay, is accepted. Okay, alpha 0.755. So this phase validation was carried out with the 29 undergraduate students to make sure that, okay, they're able to understand the questionnaires questions here. Okay, for data collection, cluster sampling techniques was applied, where the set of questionnaires here consists of 32 questions, was distributed to 116 students, yeah, volunteer students. Okay, so this is the colleges and universities, okay, we distributed. Okay, so we got 166 participants, yeah. So this is the data, okay, we got it. So from 116, okay, 6 is actually is international students. So we remove this the questionnaires. Yeah, we didn't evaluate the questionnaire because mainly this study is for the local students or Malaysian students. So we only get 110 from the 116. Yeah. So here we will evaluate, okay, what's the student motivation level based on these 110 students. Okay, from the analysis, yeah, after we done the analysis, so this is the output. Uh, we are using 32 items, okay, from the questionnaire, and it's a Likert scale, and it's will Likert scale means that starting from strongly agree until strongly not agree, yeah. And okay, so this is the level of self-efficacy. Yes, that means we have low, average, and high. So the calculation, the range, yeah, that means 28 to 65. We assume that is a low. 66 to 103, we assume that is an average, and then 104 to 140 is we assume is a high. Okay, efficacy. Yeah. So from the distribution of the questionnaire, so after we do the analysis, so we found out that, okay, from 110 students, 54% so shows is a low self-efficacy. Then we have 32% issues average efficacy, and of course high only 14%. Okay, so this is the output. So from the finding, yeah, from this output, okay, so it can be said that it's actually is a consistent with the existing literature, okay, which is commas, okay, 2013, and another okay literature is tech in 2018. Okay, they also okay in their findings they also say that low and average is the low or average is the student self-efficacy in the programming. Okay, that's another outcome. Okay, which is we try to analyze according to the universities and colleges. Yeah, so U stands for university and C stands for the colleges. Okay, so we have 8 institutions here. So among these 8 institutions, we still can see that, okay, I think the university 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, the student self-efficacy is quite low. Okay, so again, I think the C1 and C2 also, okay, quite low, and okay, and C3 and C5, okay, so the self-efficacy is quite average, yeah. So again, when we do the conclusion again, it can be say that students self-efficacy, okay, are almost low and average. Okay, another analysis have been done. This one is according the questions. Yeah, the question has questions. Okay, so here we have 5 questions. Yeah, basically we go to the specific questions. Okay, basically these questions are involved mainly on the complex tasks. Okay, so when we look on the complex tasks here, so 80% of the students rating that they are not confident or all or slightly confident. Okay, so here we can conclude that, okay, students really have a low efficacy. Okay, so there's another one, another study. We look also some of the questions here. Okay, so these are basically the questions is related if they need a help or not. Okay, when they come across some problem. Yes, they say that, okay, if there are some help, the students able to complete the task. Yeah, so here 90% students ratings, okay, are moderate or confident, okay, when okay they have some assistance, okay, or some people or friends or someone to assist them in their programming task. So I think that their self-efficacy change, okay, go to the average level. Okay, from the output, yeah, we can say that, okay, most of the students, yeah, their motivation level in terms of their self-efficacy, yeah, is low, okay, and average, yeah. So actually this finding actually is a consistent, okay, with some of these researchers. Okay, is that means not only in Malaysia our students motivational in programming is low and average, but overall, okay, is in an international level, so the same thing. Okay, their students motivation level also low and average. Okay, so when we look on more detail, yeah, so students rating indicates that less efficacy when it comes to the complex programming tasks, so their efficacy are quite low, yeah. So but once comes someone can guide them in their programming tasks, okay, their self efficacy is much more better. Okay, so this is the outcome, yeah, of the study. So however, yeah, so we can't just rely on this study, because this study we only just use a set of questionnaire, where the questionnaire just the student can read the questionnaire and just tick by themselves, even though maybe they think that okay, they are better in some of the tasks, or maybe they are not good on some of the tasks, maybe they are like manipulating, okay, the output, yeah, the answers, yeah. So in future, what we can do that, okay, uh, we can come out with another research. Of course we can still use the questionnaire with, okay, with a written or a practical test. Okay, then we compare that whether the self-efficacy with the outcome of the written test or programming text are matching, yeah. So then we can conclude that whether the student's self-efficacy is really in a low or in average level. Okay, so this is our presentations, okay, for this study. I think I will stop now. Okay, thank you.